Lesson 8, Pythagoras. On the screen you can see that I do have a ruler with two lines. The one line 8 centimeter, the other line 6 centimeter. I'm going to try to create a triangle with these two lines. Let's see. There's the vertical side. The horizontal side. I'm going to take this ruler now and I'm going to try to measure the distance between the two lines now. You can see now that the distance is exactly to be 10 centimeters. So let's write the values in that we're not going to forget the values. So we have set that this one to be 6 centimeter and this one to be 8 centimeter, and then that one measure then to a value of 10 centimeter. You can see now that in the middle, the same triangle than previously. The only thing that I have done is I took and I put squares on every side of this triangle. And this is what I'm going to be left now. Now let's just get two values. You can still see on the ruler that this side is 10. And because it is then a square, it means that all the sides of the square got to be 10. And on this one here, remember we have said that it was 6 measured to be 6. That means that that side, and that side, all the sides in that square then to be 6. Then on the other square, remember this one was 8. So that one is 8 centimeter, 8, 8, and 8 centimeters. Now I'm going to start on the one side and I'm going to start by determining the area of every square. And I do know that the area, because of a square, it is length times length. Therefore I'm going to have 6 times 6 to end up here with a value of 36 centimeter square. If I go to the one on the bottom, we're going to have the area of the one on the bottom area also to be a square, to be length times length. In this case I'm going to have 8 multiply 8 to leave me then with an answer of 64 centimeter square. Then the one on the right hand side, on the very right hand side, I'm going to have area equals to be length times length for a square. So it's going to become 10 multiply 10. And that's going to end up with an answer then of 100 centimeters square. Now, if I play with hidden information, I know that I do have a right angle there, but some new information, the side opposite the right angle, we're going to refer to that side then to be my hypotenuse. And I'm just going to shorten it as hype, the hypotenuse side. Now, the formula or the definition of Pythagoras says that the area, let's call this one A, that the area of A, let's call this one B, the area of B must be the same as the area on the hypotenuse side. Let's see if it's true. So it's going to become area of A plus area of B must be then the same as area C. The area of A determined to be 36 plus the area of B, determined then to be 64, equals to be the area of C, determined to be 100. And now you can see here that we're going to have 100 equals to be 100 in that particular case. Now remember, area means squares. If I'm going to go and I derived my formula now, for example, remember this is area is square, so if I'm going to call this one A square, and area B square, and this one area to be C square, I'm going to derive my formula then by saying that A square, area is a square, plus B square must be then equals to C square. And this is the formula that we are going to use in calculations by Pythagoras. The symbols may change, but take note, it is the hypotenuse side is equal to the sum of the other two sides squares every time. Now let's do an example of a calculation of Pythagoras. So let's call it example. I would like to start by labeling my triangle. I would like to call this one angle A, angle B, and angle C. Now one of the small rules that we can apply, this side, yes, I do know that it must be Pythagoras must be a right angled triangle. Then I can start saying that the side opposite angle B is small b, A, small a, and C, a small c. Now I have two ways in doing Pythagoras. Remember that the square of the hypotenuse equal the sum of the two squares on the other two sides. So I'm going to start in this case. First, I'm going to play with the angles. Where are you going to say now? The sides, the two sides opposite the hypotenuse, going to be A, B square plus B, C square. These are the two sides opposite the hypotenuse. Take note that this side is going to be my hypotenuse. Must be then equals to the side hypotenuse to be a C square. If I don't want to use the angles, I can also say C square, the two sides, C square plus A square equal to B square. Let's give it some values perhaps now. Let's call this distance to be 12 centimeter and this one perhaps to be 5 centimeter. So in the place of AB, I'm going to replace it now with 5, gonna be square, plus BC then to be 12 square equals to, and let's say I want to find hypotenuse, namely x. So I'm going to call this one then to be x squared. Then 5 squared, 5 times 5 to be 25, plus square, 12 times 12 to be 144, equals to be x squared. Then on the left, 25 plus 144 going to leave me then with 169 equals to be x squared. Then in the beginning of the year, we have talked about how to remove the square if we have one term left, one term right. In short, remove the square and square root whatever I have on the left hand side. And then I'm going to find that x going to give me a value then of 13 centimeter for this calculation. In this one then here, if I quickly go over and I just do it then here, c is going to be 5 square. Remember, it doesn't matter as long as it's Pythagoras, plus the a square to be 12 square equals to be the b hypotenuse square, and you can see that it is similar. Therefore my answer will also at the end will also then be equals to 13 centimeters. Guys, you can see that if we put the information in, then by using Pythagoras it is not difficult. Let's try another example. Example 2. If we're going to look at example 2 this time, I'm going to change the information a little bit. Let's call this one area A, area B, and area C. You can see the triangle, the right angle triangle right in the middle. I'm going to start by saying, for example, if I'm going to call the area here 9 centimeter square, and I'm going to call this area here 16 centimeter square. I'm going to ask you, if this is A, B, I'm going to ask you, what is the hypotenuse, the length of the hypotenuse in this case? Then, previously, I do remember that I must say now that area, let's see if I can fit it in here right on top, that area of A plus area of B have to be the same as area of C. Now the area given of A to be 9 plus the area of B given to be 16 must be then, and remember area is length times length, so I'm going to refer to that as C square in this case. So I'm going to have C square 9 plus 16 going to give me a value of 25, and I do know how must I get rid of the square. I square root whatever I have on the left hand side, and that going to give me then a value of C to be 5 centimeters, which going to become also my hypotenuse, in this case 5 centimeters. Now I'm going to ask you to do for me two calculations. Let's call it homework. And guys, I really want to see if you can figure out Pythagoras. Right angled triangle. Remember, Pythagoras only takes place in a right angled triangle. Let's call this one then angle A, B, and C. I'm going to call that one to be X. This one to be the hypotenuse to be 41 centimeter. And then this one to be 40 centimeter. And I'm going to ask you in question number 1, let's call it question number 1, determine X. That's what I want you to do there. Let's go over to question number 2. I'm going to say that this is still right angled triangle. Call that one angle A, angle B, and angle C. I'm going to call the area here to be 3000 600 centimeter square. I'm going to call the area on the hypotenuse side to be 3,721 centimeter square. Then I'm going to ask you determine for me the distance, the length AB in centimeter. Determine X. Right, guys, I hope that you're going to give it your best. Look nicely at the examples what I have done, and you're going to give it your best. And then at the next session I will also do it so that we can compare the answers. Guys, the main reason, and remember, we must have fun and enjoy. Thank you very much. Till the next time.